Hi everyone, Mike White here. Welcome to this week's vlog post. Well, here we are in the middle of June, and that means we're, a little more than halfway through, uh, this work year, if you will, producing business that will provide income for this calendar year. Remember, when we look at things and what our pay cycles look like, it's really important that we look at these numbers and realize that, you know, this business is not only cyclical and somewhat seasonal, but also that, we don't have a sale or a contact or something that we do today doesn't result in money today. And so we have to look at our business as a flow, if you will. At any point in time, our business cycle runs, 60, 90 to 180 days from when we do something to when we actually get to cash the check from having done it. So it really is important that we pay attention to this. And then again, looking at middle of June is generally the time where I have my people pull out their business plans once again and start checking off our projections versus where we thought we would be and really understand what are we seeing? What is going on? Are we tracking ahead, behind, about where we thought in our business? Is what we thought was going to happen happening? If not, why not? It's better, worse. Those things become really important. So there's really four simple questions that you have to ask yourself about your business right now is the first one is, are my referrals tracking as projected? In other words, when I started last October with our business plan and we wrote down where we thought our business was going to come from this year, what our projections were, are our referrals tracking, the way that we thought they would? The second question that we have to ask ourselves is, are my referral partners performing as expected? Because again, we put individual names to areas of business and we project what we've gotten from them in the past, what we might expect for them this year. Are they performing ahead, behind, below, advanced, of what we had really thought? And again, it becomes important to see that because, it is maybe there's something that's amiss in their business, or maybe there's something they're doing now that's generating far more opportunities than you got from them in the past. And, you know, you can help identify that and see if there's anything you do to help that, even further. The third thing is are there surprises both to the upside or the downside? Again, am I getting far more business from a particular source or a particular area of business? Am I getting less than what I thought I was going to get? And again, that also pertains to your market, right? Loan sizes. You can sit there and say, I've got the same number of transactions, but vastly different dollar amounts, or you may have the same amount of dollar amount and far different number of transactions, or you may look at your profitability and say, yeah, I've done exactly what I thought I was going to do, but my income has been better or my income has been worse, depending upon where it's been, what it should have been. Those are the four things that you really look at when you realize that the last piece of this is, what actions do I need to put into place? What adjustments do I need to make? What are the things that I have learned from asking myself those first three questions? So it's really important because you can't wait to track your outcomes to the end of the year. It's too late. You can't do that. Again, from effort to outcome can be a significant timeline. And if you're not looking yourself and saying, yeah, what is the gestation period of my transactions? And I strongly suggest you look now and say, you know what, I can look at the loans we're closing now, and for the next 30 days, 60 days, look at those loans that are closing and find out when you first pre-approved them. When did you first start the process with these people? Did you pre-approve them on a Friday and they go into contract on Monday and you had an 8-day closing? Or is it somebody you've been working with for a year and a half to get them to where they needed to be in order for them to move forward? It's really important that you look at this and keep asking yourself the question, you know, how is that working for me? The things that we do to prospect, the efforts that we put forward, you've got to constantly ask yourself and review, is what I'm doing generating the outcome that I wanted or I needed to come from that? And understand that you may review these things and find out you're thrilled and things are working as good or better than you projected. But on the other side to that is that you may get some bad news. You may not like the answers when you go through this exercise. Well, congratulations. There's something you can do about it right now. It's better to know what is going on, especially if it's not working well, so that you can adjust. Because you got to remember the old adage, bad news is like a dead fish. It doesn't get any better with age. If what you've been doing the first part of this year is not generating the results you want, there's a pretty good likelihood that continuing the way you're going is going to lead to a very disappointing year. So there's something that you can do about it. If the results are not what you expected, then you need to do something about it. And the good news is you have the opportunity to make adjustments. And if what you are doing is generating what you expected or better, well, then congratulations. Your execution is great. It's working exactly the way it's supposed to work because your outcomes are exceeding or matching the projections, the expectations that you set for yourself. So ask yourself the question, you know, is what I'm doing, is it working for me? And it's a very simple question, just to sit down and run the numbers and take a look, and the answer is going to show you. And the good news is, either way, it's important to know what they are right now so that there's something that you can do, especially this time of year. It doesn't take much to turn the ship this time because this is the time of the year with school closing, summer vacation, all these things. Boy, there's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunity that if you need to roll up your sleeves and get after it, this is a really good time to be able to do that. It's not, there's not a lot going to get in your way from getting out there and getting things done. And like I said to my clients, this past week on my coaching calls, there are certain times of the year where you stop working in your business and take time out to work on your business so that the business that you're working on generates the outcome that you deserve. And as always, if you have questions or comments or you need some help, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com. Talk to you again next week. Take care.